Fair enough, dude. I mean, we just get killed. I literally load up this game, play, get my ass beat. Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're back with another video today, man. We're using the third base squad, so this is who we got. Everybody's either in secondary position or primary besides George Brett, but technically George Brett is a second baseman.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Technically, he can't play second base, but hey, throughout the entire year, he was doing really good at it, so that's where he's going. I really want to win, so we're pitching Jacob deGrom. I don't care. I just want to win at this point. So today, we had the World Cup final. Absolute beautiful game. Messi won. Mbappe played great, so a lot of people can be like, okay, it's not Mbappe's fault. It's not like he played poorly. He played fantastic, actually. He did what he could when he got the ball, and, you know, Messi gets his World Cup, so it's a beautiful ending. It's one of those things you literally couldn't have written it any better. Like I said, the only way I think it would have been better for storyline was literally if it was Messi versus Ronaldo in the World Cup final. That's literally it. Yesterday's video, we did the second baseman, and a lot of you guys seem to enjoy that type of video, so it's kind of how these videos are going to be until MLB The Show 23. Which basically means the next 3 months, it's almost like we have a baseball podcast, but we don't. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Good hit. Obviously, you've got the two who get argued of the GOATs of soccer, and goodness gracious, Eduardo Escobar, go off, bud. Okay. I mean, I like Ronaldo more, because Sue is lit, but like some of the arguments, man, it's so tough, right? And I think baseball is one of the toughest ones. And the reason with that, I don't even know if this is more a GOAT debate, but like Babe Ruth, perfect timing. Babe Ruth is up to bat, perfect timing. If Jacob deGrom and Babe Ruth were to have an at bat right now, I don't see Babe Ruth getting a hit. I don't. Okay, I know he did here, but I'm saying I don't expect him to do that in real life. And that's not even Babe Ruth's fault. It's just what he was playing against back then. There was no Jacob deGrom there. They didn't even know Jacob deGrom could exist. People who say, well, if we drop Babe Ruth into today's game, but he grew up in today's game and had all the training and everything, then he would do that. But the problem with that is we have no idea what Babe Ruth's personality was like. What if Babe Ruth really never just trained? He was just way better than a lot of the people who were playing currently. Or like at that time. So like, what if you dropped him in today, technically with the same mindset? Why would he think he has to get better? You know what I'm saying? In my head, I feel like it's almost a pointless conversation. It doesn't make Babe Ruth less of a player because he played back then, but it's something we have to acknowledge. Listen, people weren't athletic back then, or they didn't let, you know, everybody play back then. Jackie Robinson literally played in the 1940s, boys. So I'm just saying. They weren't letting the most athletic players play back then. But anyways, the point is, it's also just to acknowledge the difference. Okay, fair enough, dude. I mean, we just get killed. I literally load up this game, play, get my ass beat, and just talk, which is fair enough, but it's getting ridiculous at this point. I mean, athletes are getting better every single day. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know where this conversation's going, but like, okay, I don't know if the MLB has ever had a list, right? But when the NBA came out with the NBA Top 75, included anybody in the NBA 50, of course, and you had old players like Bob Cousy. Anybody now, when we look at Bob Cousy tapes, I'm not trying to hate on these old men. I'm not trying to disrespect them. He literally dribbled with just one hand. He was just dribbling with his right. He didn't dribble with his left. He's literally going this way, dribbling with his right, and it's ridiculous. And it's like, okay, you compare him to Kyrie Irving on dribbling. Talent-wise, it seems like Kyrie would have a lot more talent than those people. That's just what I'm saying. Or like Dwight Howard, like who didn't get it. Just seems like you put Dwight Howard in that age, I feel like he's absolutely destroying people. And it's no hate to the old guys, I think. But sometimes the old guys, it would suck to be an old guy like that. You were respected. Just because as the sport evolves, your game, it doesn't look great. So then when someone tries to say, well, Bob Cousy has this many, or whatever, right? If someone tries to say Bob Cousy's better than a point guard in today's game, and you look at the highlight reel of Bob Cousy versus a point guard in today's game, it's not fair to Bob Cousy, and that would suck. I'm just saying, in general, if I was one of those players, that would be very frustrating. Like, I'm tired of getting slandered and all this. I think it was JJ Redick on his podcast who got in beef with Bob Cousy anyways, and then Bob Cousy called him out, and then people were surprised because they all thought Bob Cousy was dead, and Bob Cousy's not dead, and I'm hoping it's Bob Cousy because I'm hoping I got the name right. And he tries to say, well, I'm a significantly better player than this JJ Redick guy, and I get it, the stats would say that, but then it's like, oh my gosh, but like JJ Redick, I'm a Duke fan, I love JJ, but like, bro, that dude could shoot the lights out. Could you imagine if they dropped in JJ and his knowledge, what he had today, into that game, and they somehow had a 3-point line in that game? They would be so confused. And kind of what I'm getting to, it's gonna be crazy to think, right? Like, we see like Shohei Ohtani. Oh my gosh, this dude is doing things we've never seen before. There's potential 40 years from now, there's gonna be multiple Shohei Ohtanis. Imagine in the MLB at some point, not even saying it has to be, you know, soon, maybe it's 100 years, maybe it's a couple 100 years, where someone's starting 5 pitching is all a bunch of Shohei Ohtanis. So they can pitch and hit, and they could DH or go play left field or go play right field. It's gonna evolve to a point in our head we can't even comprehend. Like back then in the NBA, they would have never have thought of Steph Curry. In baseball, I'm sorry, I know he did steroids, but they would have never have thought of a man named Barry Bonds. In the 1920s, they weren't thinking, oh yeah, this dude like Barry Bonds is literally gonna be so dominant that people will walk him with the bases loaded. Eduardo Escobar, send that to the moon, bud. Just get it out of here. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. And you know what? Now with Barry Bonds, and I've talked about this multiple times, but it's crazy to think in MLB The Show how many legends we don't have, and how that's so different from every other game, aka, I mean, FIFA has a lot of legends too, but I'm saying they got a lot of the top guys. 2K pretty much has all of them. There's Barry Bonds. We don't have Roger Maris. We can even throw in like Home Run King. I mean, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. Yes, I'm naming a bunch of steroid freaks, right? We don't have Roger Clemens. We just got Randy Johnson in the game, which is like wild. Like, we didn't even have a Randy Johnson until this year. There's no Derek Jeter. There's no Nomar Garcia-Parra. There's no Mark Teixeira. There's no Hideki Matsui. There's no Ichiro. There's potential we're not gonna have Albert Pujols for a couple years, because usually when people retire, they lose their rights for a little bit. And we've seen that as we don't have A-Rod. We don't have, like, this is what I'm saying. We don't have some of literally the best players in the sport. We don't have the guy who they might consider the GOAT of baseball, Barry Bonds, in our game. That is insane. We don't got Pete Rose. Like, we don't have Ty Cobb. Like, Ty Cobb is literally one of the greats as well in this game, and we don't have him. Like, what? And I'm just saying, I understand, you know, it all comes down to licensing. So no idea how that goes. No idea if we're ever going to get it. But it's just crazy, man. It's a secondary position for him now, and we just move him over there. What the hell, man? Your outfield would be like Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, Manny Ramirez, which would be insane. Your pitcher is probably Dwight Gooden's a great pitcher that we could use. A Roger Clemens, right? And guess what, boys? Y'all better believe we are covering any MLB The Show 23 news that we get. The cover athlete reveal, we're watching that. Like, it's happening. It's happening. I don't think we should get 99s on day one. I don't think we should get 99s on day one. And the reason why is because with releasing 99s day one, you automatically put yourself in a bad position. If the card's not good enough, aka like a Roberto Clemente, which you're gonna have people upset, right? You're gonna have people upset where they're like, this card's not good enough, mid. Like even the 96 Mike Mussina card, starting pitcher card that they came out, I mean, that card sucked. So let's be honest, you're either gonna get everybody saying mid, or you release a good card like the Randy Johnson, or a good card like Frank Thomas. Any other time you come out with a first baseman, they're like, not better than Frank Thomas. L, Frank Thomas better. They gave us a free David Ortiz. People go, L, Frank Thomas better. Frank Thomas been in the game forever. It's just what's gonna happen. You're setting yourself up for literally okay. Tough. The thing is, I don't think they're ever gonna go away from that model. Don't know what do we do with it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we do? And it's tough. But the problem is with the live series cards, if you don't have a collection for it, right? Then what's the point of getting them? Oh, beautiful. Thank you. We'll take that, Jose. We'll take that. But then it's also really, really tough with content for MLB The Show, right? Because the way the game is right now and the way the meta is, it's like you need high contact. So like, it doesn't matter if you have power and speed and all that. If your contact is literally in the 80s in the beginning of the game, that's good. But then if it's in the 80s, that is not good. That is not good. You are going to be seen way less of a player because your contact is in the 80s. Every single collection card between George Brett, Andrew McCutchen, Jimmy Rollins, and Mickey Mantle, every single time one of those cards came out, they were like the best card. Now, some other collection cards that they took an L on, the Jackie Robinson was an L. That card was, I'm sorry, it was an L. The Christian Yelich that you got for tops now was kind of an L for at the point. It was an L. It was an L. We're just getting absolutely lit up, dude. This guy's hitting everything. It is what it is. This is what happens, though, sometimes when you play on All-Star and you play against a guy who's decent and can hit. Like, it is very, very hard to get these dudes out. And tough. And tough. And tough. Boys, I've been absolutely slaughtered in my last 2 games. Gonna be honest, boys, don't really feel like playing another game, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace.